You know, it's a Saturday morning. I wake up, I have breakfast. I decide I want to go get myself a nice cup of Starbucks. And as I'm waiting in line to get my sweet cream cold brew with 460 milligrams of caffeine as a way to absolutely wake me up in the morning, I check Twitter while I'm in line and I see that the hashtag dump Starbucks is trending. And I think to myself, oh, I'm in a pretty woke state. I live in Washington. If I'm at Starbucks, am I going to get maced or beaten while I wait in line for my nice, refreshing beverage? And the answer to that is no, because the vast majority of the world doesn't care about any politics involving Starbucks. But for some utter reason, we tend to continue to use Starbucks as a damn battleground. I'm not even kidding you. Check out this article on RT, popped up just today. Arizona cops sparked hashtag dump Starbucks campaign after officers are asked to leave store. Now, the story goes essentially as followed. You had 6 cops in Tempe, Arizona, getting a nice, refreshing Starbucks before starting their shift on July 4th. One of the worst days to be a cop because there are dumb idiots everywhere with not only explosives, but alcohol. And they're in Arizona where they're already dumb because it's Arizona in the summertime and they're still there. So they apparently were approached by a barista, and that barista had asked them to leave the store or to move out of someone's eye lines. That's right. Someone in the Starbucks went to a barista and was like, I'm so sorry. Those 6 officers over there, they're making me entirely uncomfortable drinking my soy latte. Can you please ask them to leave? I mean, never mind the fact that these people are paying customers. Never mind the fact that they are just, hanging out before the start of their shift and getting ready to go out there and protect and serve. Never mind all of the actual things that are happening. There is one person offended. So, of course, the barista, asked the cops to leave. And then the Tempe Officers Association has come out and gone after Starbucks for it. They've called upon a dumping of Starbucks and that people should not go and check it out. So me thinking I might get beaten up while waiting in line at Starbucks in a pretty liberal state, not going to happen because it's not the lefties, it's not the liberals that are calling for this boycott of Starbucks. This time around, it's the right wingers. Although that may be that may be not fair necessarily to say because we don't know if all the cops there are considered themselves conservative, but more often than not, they are. So, is this a big deal? The answer to that is yes and no. The way I view it's like this. Should the barista have asked paying customers to leave the store who have done nothing wrong? The answer to that is no. If the customer inside there, it doesn't feel comfortable with them being there, ask themselves why they have bigotry against police. That's a question. You could turn it around and turn it into a teaching moment. I'm totally kidding. No one would ever do that. No one would ever do that, actually, period. But then, of course, a lot of people have been going back to the whole situation in Pittsburgh from last year, back in April of 2018, when 2 black men were arrested at a Starbucks, and it caused this massive, massive conversation to happen. So much so that Starbucks shut down 8,000 locations. So just to give you an idea, 8,000 locations in order to hold a half-day awareness ceremony for how to be more racially sensitive. And from what I hear from people who worked at Starbucks, it was basically just kind of a waste of 4 hours. No one really learned anything. And of course, they were never meant to learn anything. It was all done for show. It was all done so Howard Schultz could step down because that would be the right thing to do. And Omar pretty much announced his candidacy for presidency, which nobody cared for, and he has since dropped out. Now, as a result of this whole situation having taken place at the Starbucks in Pittsburgh, Starbucks opened its doors to everybody who wants to use the bathrooms, and they've had situations with unhygienic needles being left out because some people who like to engage in that type of drug use and that type of activity have been trashing the bathrooms, and it's left employees feeling unsafe. So Starbucks decided, instead of going back on that policy, they've since added needle disposing kits in the bathroom, because that seems about right. A lot of places where I live all have locks on the bathroom door because of the homeless problem and the drug problem. They have to protect their assets. That's just kind of where things are. But I'm getting off track here. 6 cops, Tempe, Arizona, booted out of a Starbucks. Dumb idea. 2 black men in Pittsburgh booted out of a Starbucks for refusing to pay, then refusing to leave. is actually what happened. The two situations are not at all remotely comparable, but people are always going to try to find a way. Oh, did it happen at a Starbucks? Well, then it must be comparable. It's not comparable. It's not comparable at all. You have a situation where people were minding their own business, being paid customers, and were asked to leave a store because somebody else felt uncomfortable that they were there. The officers got up and they left. They were like, okay, fine, whatever. And yeah, I think they were rightfully upset about it. Their job is to protect and serve, but and you may not like cops, and that's fine. I don't like a lot of cops. But at the same time, you still have to look at them from being they're humans still. Everyone is human and should be treated as such. So if I were the officer, I would have probably asked the barista, what if I wasn't a white man, a white cop? What if I was a black man sitting here and some lady came over and said, I don't feel comfortable with that black man there, or that Jewish person there, or that Middle Eastern person there, or that Chinese person, or that Hispanic person. How would you then feel about that? Because that's ultimately what this boils down to. Is it's bigotry and it's discrimination. And if we want equality in this world, if we want people in this world to feel better about everything, to work together, to stop going down party and racial and religious lines, and stop self-segregating and stop trying to push everyone else away, then shouldn't we actively make the attempt to be as inclusive as humanly possible? But the problem with most modern day inclusivity is that it's simply a freaking bumper sticker. It's meant to sell you a product. It's meant to sell you something that you believe in, but the person who is behind it is just trying to find a way to make money off of it. It's one of the reasons why I get so ticked off watching a lot of political commentary, because it's like you overlook certain things in order to back your narrative. And when people are told about those certain things, they oftentimes at that point don't even want to deal with it, especially when it comes to Starbucks, right? Josh Feuerstein comes out there. Starbucks isn't Christian enough on the holidays because they say happy holidays and not Merry Christmas. Well, God damn it, Josh. You nailed it on the head. Dump Starbucks, boycott Starbucks, because they had the audacity to not cater to one religion over another. Oh my God, the monsters. Or what was it last year? Their holiday cup had what appeared to be a lesbian couple on it, and people lost their mind at that too. Why are you subjecting the children to lesbians? My God. Well, at the same time, why are you feeding your children Starbucks would be my question back to them. Starbucks is not a damn battleground. It's a coffee joint. I look at it like this, right? Starbucks is a lot like I view smoking as like the great American or the great human watering hole. Anyone can bond over smoking a cigarette because oftentimes you're ostracized to the far reaches of the establishment. Do you want to smoke a cancer stick? Step your ass outside. That's a lot of what that is. But you go out there and you meet other people. To put it in terms that were coined in regards to Fight Club, like single serving friends is more or less what it boils down to. Coffee is kind of the same way. Right? It's a very cultural experience. It's a cultural thing. That's why Starbucks and coffee joints are so popular. People like to go there because there's a communal aspect there. But there's also, communal. That's communal. That is meant to be everybody. I would argue Starbucks are more of a public square than social media is these days, of course. But people still want to treat it like it's a damn battleground because they all want ownership over it, even though they don't pay to run it. It's a weird thing. I would tell, if I ran Starbucks, I would not kowtow to any party other than that. I'd say, listen, if someone comes to you in your store and says, do not, or it says, can you get these people out of here because of this? I would tell them to, why don't you leave? It's a free country, ain't it? You don't like them being there, then you leave. It's that simple. Are the police causing a disturbance? Most likely not. Are they refusing to pay before more cops are called? And then that's fine. Our society is getting more and more and more just whiny over everything. And look, I get it. It's so easy to voice displeasure on social media. You get out there and like, this sucked. I get it. Fine. Whatever. Still, the whole thing is just ridiculous. Dump Starbucks. Stupidest thing so far in 2019 that I've, at least stupidest thing like in the summer of 2019. And we're only a couple weeks in. Anything could change as time goes on. But this kind of shit is legitimately ridiculous. And I know I'm not the only person to think that, but I'm curious to know your thoughts, your opinions. Let me know down in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.